Sticks and Stones podcast. You are now listening to Sticks and Stones podcast.
Welcome. What? We didn't even get any 28s. 28s.
28th is Marshall Falk. That's the end.
Marshall Falk. That's the end.
Mm-hmm.
What was Latavius? No.
Latavius Murray was 28.
No, yeah, he was, but there was other running back, shorter guy from
Adrian
the Chargers,
Peterson was 28.
from the Chargers, shorter guy.
You talking about?
What was his name?
I can't tell you now.
He was a beast there for a while because that was when I first started playing fantasy football, and he was like just a real hot commodity.
He was short, stout, built like the bus.
He was an every down back, just a monster. Just he'd chip you off for 5 or 10 every play.
He was tough.
Oh man, that's gonna drive me nuts. It starts with an L, I think, or something. LT.
LaDainian Tomlinson?
LaDainian
no,
Tomlinson.
he didn't wear 28, did he?
Who was he?
21.
I don't know. 20. I don't know. It doesn't matter. But also a beast. But yes, welcome back to the podcast. We're firing off onto episode 28.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got a lot to talk about this
A lot
week.
of drama going on.
Because there's just we took last week off. We are back at it this week. The season has started. Fantasy football has started. We're in a league of fantasy footballness with some people that just
For maybe a week or two.
good God, man, these dudes are wild. We'll just put it that way. Just a lot of complaining all the time about everything. But you know, it is what it is.
Right.
So, but anyways, yeah, man, it's how's your? It's been a minute since we podcasted.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
About a week and a half. It was good. A good break. Really didn't do much this weekend. Chilled out. Needed it. Watched a lot of football.
Labor Day. How was your Labor Day weekend?
It was good. I was busy as shit. I was on call.
Oh, okay.
And I got hammered.
Really?
Yeah, I got probably $500 to $600 worth of work.
Damn.
So,
All right.
yeah, it's
That's
cool, but it also sucked.
also not a long weekend.
Yeah, I had a very short weekend, which was nice this past weekend. For
Right.
week one, I didn't have anything.
Yeah, you could just chill and enjoy the games.
I got to watch Ohio State lose like a bunch of fucking bums that they are.
That was a tough one too. I mean, it was.
They had every opportunity.
Yeah, that was a tough one to watch. But yeah,
Stroud's just the holdover.
I mean, I don't know how you beat. Have you heard about Oregon's coach?
No.
Well, not only is he a product of Nick Saban and the teachings of Nick Saban as a coach, this dude's like he does like Krav Maga, he's ex-special forces, some shit.
He looks
like
pretty stout.
like a Green Beret or a SEAL or something like that. But I mean, how you beat a guy like that?
You don't.
That's yeah. That'd be an interesting one. Speaking of head coaches, did you put the video in there? The head coach that was just a little too amped up.
I mean, we were gonna, but since Will's not here, I can't really control all
That dude
that.
is.
But there's a coach. I think it was a D1 school.
Was it?
I think so.
Yeah.
Low D1.
Yeah, because it was.
He was
going
ham, getting into his players and pregame and hitting them
and jumping on them,
yeah,
wrestling with them. I mean,
it's
it
too
was
much, man.
Yeah, you gotta chill out. There, you know what I mean. You're
much.
gonna burn yourself out before the game starts.
Right.
Yeah, don't do all that.
No need for all of that shit, man.
He was jacked.
The one dude, he beat the fuck out of him.
Well, that's what
he
I'm saying,
rips
when he
his
was going
fucking
down,
helmet off.
when he was going down the line,
Right.
and then when he gets into like the sideline huddle with all of them right before the game,
Right.
he was ready to go.
Right.
But yeah,
I mean, week one was a doozy.
week one was wild.
There was a lot of what the fuck's going on with Tennessee and Arizona. Tennessee getting throttled at home.
That was a bad game for them. But the thing is, Tennessee hasn't had.
Well,
if
you get up on them,
well, right,
pretty much a wrap.
Well, because they don't Tannehill to get up on Tennessee and them have to come back. I mean, as most football teams, you got to pass the ball.
Right.
Tannehill isn't good at passing under pressure, I don't think.
I just
mean, he
don't
just
think they're
doesn't-
built to come back.
No.
I mean, they're a team to stay either even with you,
Right.
even with you, or either
If they get out
get
jumping,
ahead.
yeah, if they get jumping on you with the run game, obviously with Derrick Henry and whatnot, then they're a hard team to keep up with. But I mean, you noticed that last year they struggle when they're behind. So, but their defense wasn't good last year or the year before that.
No.
So, and I don't know that they added Bud Dupree. That's one person though. You know what I mean? So. Outside of that, I'm not sure what they have going on the defense. I don't pay attention that much to Tennessee, but I mean, it doesn't seem like they fixed any of their defensive issues.
Right.
So,
Well, I mean, it's hard to stop a guy like Kyler Murray. That is
well,
he's like
he's
5'1".
slippery. He's slippery.
Yeah.
We'll put it that way. He's hard to get hands on. He is agile.
Hopkins. I mean, that catch that he had in the back of the end
You
zone.
mean Nuke?
Yeah.
That man's. I'm not gonna say he's the best receiver in the NFL, but he's got to be top 3.
Who's the best currently to you?
Well, I mean, you can't deny Adams. It's just hard when you got a quarterback that comes out high as fuck for his first game of the season. You know what I mean? Oh, boy.
So go on to that.
Oh, boy,
Green
was
Bay versus the Saints getting
shit. That was by
throttled.
far the biggest.
Jameis Winston
The
playing
biggest
like Aaron
surprise.
Rodgers and Aaron Rodgers playing like Jameis Winston.
That was wild to me. And Rodgers looked
there was
like
a
he
stat
didn't
I
give
saw
a
that-
single shit.
Yeah, like he's like 0 and something or 1 and something in the state of Florida. Like bad, like horrible.
He,
Wish that game was played in Jacksonville
yeah, because
because of the hurricane.
yeah, it's not going to be a great scene in New Orleans for probably the next few weeks.
Couple months.
Probably a better guess.
Yeah, I mean they got throttled, and he was,
was
up there
ugly.
heaving shit.
I mean, Jameis
doing
was-
shit. So
Jameis was out there slinging it.
yeah, I mean he didn't put up a lot of yardage, but when he did get the ball because of all the turnovers, he did well with it.
Right. And he didn't turn the ball over once,
No, he didn't.
which is also
A first in a while.
it's surprising. I'm not going to go
Late-
in too much on Jameis
LASIK surgery, man. Hey, dude, I used to hate on Jameis.
because, I mean, that's what we was talking about before the podcast started. Like, I was pretty sure he used to have, like, a lazy eye.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I don't know if LASIK fixes that, but
No, it's more stigmatisms and
we'll
stuff, right?
see if he can sustain. That's the bigger.
I'm riding high. We're going to do it.
That is the bigger
Issue?
like, yeah, we'll see if he can sustain what happened in week 1. Drew Brees even was saying something about maybe that's what the Saints have been missing is Jameis Winston, and I was just like, what?
I mean, last year they needed somebody that could throw the ball downfield, and
Yeah.
Drew Brees wasn't it.
No, Drew Brees wasn't. He was tired.
But he
So-
did find his hair, so let's talk about that.
Oh God,
He
that
talks.
looks wild.
I don't know what makes athletes think that we don't know what they looked like previous
Well,
to
yeah.
them going into the booth.
Right.
That's fake. It's either plugs or either it's
But
a
I don't know.
fucking toupee.
As long as it is, I mean, I feel like it takes longer, like to have
Somebody
the
that
plug
thin of
surgery,
hair?
yeah, and then to have it grow out like that and be that thick. I don't know if that. I mean, it could be
I don't know
plugs.
how-
I guess. I mean, he's got tons of money.
I don't know how plugs work.
I don't. I guess they take care from the back of your head, and move it to the front, right? I don't
Maybe
know.
they pull the
I don't
hair
know.
from your ass. I don't know.
Yeah, they could get it from anywhere. I guess. I don't know.
It's like skin. If you need skin, They do
That's
skin
true,
graft, you
yeah.
know? Pull it from your ass.
Yeah,
Usually, because you
that's
can't
true.
see it.
That's true.
The Steelers winning in pretty much ho-hum fashion, just doing our business, and let's move
Just
on. Against a
let's-
good Buffalo
time out.
team.
Right. So there's a couple
I'm not
different
taking
things.
away anything.
No. Not
it's
you.
just very
You-
ho-hum.
You didn't have anything negative to say about it.
No, they look good.
I had some other people that did have some negative shit to say about it, which I don't know if they were watching the game or what. But here's the thing.
Okay.
Underdog, 6.5.
Yep.
Okay. I
Vegas
have
underdog.
a very large issue with that entire Sunday pregame squad that picked Buffalo
CBS?
across the board. Yeah.
Well, that's CBS.
All 5 of them fools.
Well, CBS is just they're fucking trash, dude.
Right.
But
So-
I know I get what you're saying. We usually when like all 5 of them pick a team,
Yeah, it's
going the opposite way.
Right.
And they did that shit on Sunday night on NBC. If you watch the Rams game,
I didn't even.
so before the game started, they all picked the fucking Rams, and I was like, ah, shit, here we go. They're gonna play like ass,
right.
and they were kind of a little hit and miss that first drive, and then
Yeah.
boom, that big ass play. And you texted me, you're like, oh shit, and I was like, I'm telling you, dude. And then they kind of ho-hummed, and then they just pulled away second half.
Oh yeah, and
But-
that Stafford looked great though.
Well, I mean, you bust out that armband, dude. You know what I'm saying? The one armband, Stafford.
Anyways, back to
You
the
can find those
Steelers.
at Dick's Sporting Goods, man.
So defensively,
Mm-hmm.
some of the best defensive coaching as well as personnel that I've seen in a long time. Everybody flying to the ball. Corners look good. Sutton looked good. I mean, it was looking good.
Right.
You know, constant pressure on Josh Allen. I think Watt had 2 sacks. I mean, it was the run game was pretty locked down for them, so he had to resort to Diggs pretty much the whole game, and it just wasn't enough for them. But on our side of things, offensively, Big Ben was doing his thing.
Yeah, he wasn't killing it, but
No,
he did his
wasn't
job.
killing it. He did his job. The receivers are showing up. Johnson looked fantastic.
Yeah.
Claypool had him some good
Yeah,
catches.
good-
Juju
two
was
good
doing
ones.
some good blocking. Juju's a better blocking receiver. Anyways, when he's not getting clipped, that was
What
ugly.
do you have to say about Najee's performance, though?
I mean, they
Well,
stacked the box on him.
right,
What are you
right.
gonna do?
Right.
What are you
No,
gonna do?
I mean,
He had a couple not breakaways. He had a couple little stretches that look good. But one of the things I do like about Najee is he has patience behind his line.
very Le'Veon.
So
Like.
he will wait. But I expect bigger things this week coming up playing a Raiders defense. You got to understand, Buffalo's defense is tough.
Yeah,
Buffalo's defense is tough. They were one of the best defenses last year.
They're probably the second best team in the AFC.
Them
currently.
collectively with Diggs and Josh Allen's connection last year and their defense is what got them so deep into the playoffs. So I'm sitting here. I'm on the phone with my family. I mean, they're all Browns fans. I'm on the phone with my mom and dad. They're on speakerphone. She's just like, I mean, yeah, they won, but I mean, the defense looked terrible. And I'm just like,
Whose defense? Your defense?
yeah. I was just like, what
What was the final score?
time out? It was
20
26 to 16 or 23 to 16, I think, or something like that.
23 to 16.
Yeah.
I mean, you only gave up 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Well, sorry,
I don't know how that. I don't know.
2 touchdowns and two
Yeah.
point conversions or 1
No,
point.
they missed a kick or something like that.
Okay.
I think.
Um,
But I'm
doesn't sound like the defense didn't do too bad.
Defense did fantastic. Offense
Anything
did
under 21 is good.
against Buffalo. I'll take that score any day. It was 23. We beat them 23-3 in the second half.
Right.
I mean, you want to talk about your halftime adjustments out of one of the best coaches in the NFL, if
Fair
not
enough.
the best coach in the NFL.
Big man, it's your opinion.
But no, I mean, I was pumped about it. Everything looked great. Everything looked solid. Defense having middle linebackers back again that are healthy, huge.
That was at Buffalo,
Ingram.
too, right?
Yeah, I was in Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
Ingram
big
looked
win.
fantastic.
Big win for you guys, for real, though.
Yeah.
I mean, that puts you guys in the driver's seat. Did everybody in the AFC North win? I think so. Yes. Everybody in the AFC North and the NFC West.
Yeah.
Although the NFC West, the 49ers were up by 21
No,
with 7
Browns
minutes
lost.
left. Oh, yeah, that's right. Sorry.
A tough game against Kansas City.
Should have won.
Tough. Should have won. That was a tough
Botched
game.
the fumble. Gave him the lead.
It was tough. I mean, they looked great against Kansas City, so I would expect big things out of the Browns this season.
I mean, they're the team that should overtake either the Bills or the Chiefs.
Yeah.
One of the two.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be surprising. I mean, they're probably going to win the division or either come in a wild card. Hey,
let's
whatever,
time out.
man.
Let's
Whatever.
just
Either way,
time
what are
out.
y'all going to flip-flop? About being in the wild card and being the division winner. I don't think the Ravens are it because there's too many injuries.
No.
You watched the game last night. They didn't look great.
Right.
They looked on par with the Raiders, which the Raiders are the third best team in the AFC West.
Right.
AFC West is kind of stacked with the Chargers and the Chiefs, but I'm still not putting a lot of merit in that.
No.
That moral loss, like it was a moral victory because
because you can't do that whole song and dance to Waller every week. I don't think that's going to work out.
What, the Raiders?
Yeah. I mean, they can continue to go to him, but not every team's going to allow that.
Well, they're going to do a high-low on him, for
Right.
sure. The big thing is if they do that, they're going to give up a safety,
Right.
which then gives their Ruggs a chance to get over the top. And
Yeah.
he's pretty quick.
Jacobs looked good too, though. I mean, he was looking solid last year.
Yeah, a little bit more carries, but he was nicked up coming into the game. He had an illness the night before, and I guess they were worried about if he was going to play or not. And it wasn't COVID related, I guess. It was something else. So I don't know. And he looked dehydrated because he kept like stretching the whole game. But I mean, he did me well. Waller did me well. But yeah, the Raiders looked okay. They didn't look great. I mean, neither team looked great. It was a lot of bad play at the end. I don't know if you stayed up for the whole thing.
I didn't watch all of it.
I watched all of it. Because there was a lot of implications there. I thought for a little bit I was going to lose. I was like, well, you might do it.
As soon as I lost, I was like, all right, I'm out. Fantasy-wise, as soon as I lost, I was like, all right, I'm over
The
this.
crazy thing is you only lost by like 4? And he didn't get that catch till like the third quarter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was tough.
Yeah.
But, I mean, there was
that
only...
catch is what put him over.
Right, which, I mean...
And he didn't do anything after that. He had 3 catches for like 15 yards.
Right. So...
We're talking about Mark Andrews.
Yeah. Which, I mean, usually you could expect a little more out of him, so I didn't have... I mean,
Yeah,
I was being realistic
Yeah.
that I was probably going to lose that game. But
I for sure thought you were at least going to get beat by like 10, and then you were like holding out, and I was like, fuck, he might actually win this. I was like, this would be fucking hilarious if he actually wins it.
Yep.
And then he caught the ball on one of them, and I thought maybe he fumbled, and if he fumbled, that would have put you
That's
ahead,
what I was hoping for, yeah.
But nope, he didn't.
Nope.
Lamar did, though, 3 fucking times.
He fumbled 3 times?
3 times, lost 2. He's gonna have a lot of issues this year. They're gonna be in his ass, blitzing him nonstop, because those running backs can't block. None of them.
No.
Right now. Not even fucking Latavius Murray. He couldn't block even.
He wasn't good at blocking,
which is
New Orleans.
amazing because how big he is. He should be able to, but he can't.
Some just don't want to step up and do it.
Another game that stood out to me, I think, was what was it? We talked about the Steelers. We talked about the Packers. There was a few other games in there that were really tight or either were surprises, kind of. I mean, the Rams look good. I kind of expected that against the Bears. They were at home. They should win. They should win handedly. Thank God they did. I'm trying to think of any players that may have went off that I was surprised by. The Jets didn't look too bad. Panthers, I mean, it's the Panthers.
The Panthers looked well, but I mean, the Panthers looked a little better.
Yeah, I mean, the Jets and the Panthers are both going to bottom tier teams.
Yeah.
But they didn't look bad.
Jags.
The 49ers about blowing their 21-point lead in 7 minutes left against the Detroit Lions. Now that, I was sitting there watching it, and I was like, are these fucking guys going to lose this game to Jared Goff and the Lions, which they were down like 21 points with 7 minutes left. And I was like, oh, this game's over. And they went back to it, and the Lions scored off of a turnover. And then they turned the ball over again, and I was like, what the fuck? And then they were down by 8 because they went for 2 on one of them and got it. And I was like, all right. Well, then they got the ball back again because of some turnover or something. And I was like, they're going to fucking do this.
The 49ers gave them every opportunity to
49ers should have lost. They should have lost, but whatever.
Some of these teams, I mean, there's a lot of teams that were ahead by a good stretch that blew every bit of their lead. I mean,
Well, yeah, like the
Bengals
Browns,
games
the
was
Bengals.
terrible. I mean,
That's the NFL, though.
That's a shit show.
You know, like the game starts out and they get up on them, and you're like, okay, and then they get reserved and they start running the fucking ball and stop doing what they were doing to fucking score.
Right.
I don't understand that. Just keep going, man.
But some of these teams, but there's teams that like once they're up on you, it's a wrap. I mean,
Sometimes, yeah. Like, there's certain teams I'd be like, you're not coming back from that.
right.
Like,
Yeah.
Kansas City, if they got up on you, you ain't
Kansas
coming
City's
back.
up on you by 21 points.
Because they're just gonna keep passing.
That's tough.
That's what he's good at.
yeah.
Well, like the Bengals got up, they were up like 15, 14
It was more
points,
than that, I think.
17
I wanna say
points.
It was at least 2 touchdowns.
And then they all of a sudden the Vikings slowly creep back.
The Vikings aren't great either.
No, the Vikings. They're the reason I can't ever trust the Vikings is because of a game like that on Sunday.
Yeah.
Because they get in games like that. They play up to par with the team that they're playing.
Mm-hmm.
If they play the Bengals, they're shit. If they're playing the Cowboys, they're fucking stellar. If they're playing the fucking Chiefs, they're fucking stellar. You know what I mean?
Cousins is a wild dude. I mean, there's no consistency with him.
Right. It's to the par of the team. Well, I don't have to get up that much. We're playing the Bengals. No, motherfucker, come out and ball out.
What about Billy Bills, boy? What about Belichick and Mac Jones
So,
and the Dolphins?
the Dolphins had that was the other one I wanted to talk about. The Dolphins had every fucking right to lose that game. And here's what I'm going to say about Tua. I'm off the fucking Tua train. That
He's
guy
not
is
good.
garbage.
He's not a good quarterback.
That throw at the end of the game, I don't know if you saw it for the INT.
Mm-mm.
So this is where I think the Patriots should have won. He threw an interception at the end of the game, and I was just like, why throw it? 1. 2, if you're going to throw it, get it the fuck out of bounds. Or 3, take the sack and just fucking punt it. You know? But it was like, seriously, like, fuck it.
Those game time decisions, those clutch decisions, the games on the line.
If you're in the fourth quarter,
It
do
shows
not turn the
lack
ball over.
It shows lack of experience. I mean,
Which is surprising for an Alabama guy. But, Alabama quarterbacks
but even
haven't
then
really.
he didn't play. I mean, he wasn't a starter for year in, year out for them. I mean,
He was a starter
one-
for the year that he got
Yeah.
drafted.
So,
He
I
beat
mean-
out Hurts. That was
Right.
That was what made people enamored with him is, well, why did he beat Hurts out? And then Hurts,
That's just playing I mean, when you got 2 of them to choose from, when you're in college and you got 2 NFL caliber quarterbacks to choose from, it's like, who? What am I going to do? Who am I going to go with this week? Okay, well, this guy won this week, so fuck it, we'll just go with him.
yeah.
I
as
mean,
long as he's not turning the ball over, I'm
right.
going with him.
Hurts is not a bad quarterback.
No.
Tua is not a good quarterback.
He's definitely showing that he's
Which now makes sense. I mean, obviously, I don't pay attention to the Dolphins ever for any reason, except for when they had that one linebacker, Kiko Alonso.
Oh.
That boy is wild.
Luke.
He was,
Kiko Alonso.
dude was wild.
Yeah.
I did like him. But anyways, it makes sense as then why they were talking to Sean Watson. I mean,
Well, they're still in talks.
well,
And I can't blame him. But I was in the boat. Let's give Tua a shot. I've seen one game, and honestly, that throw was enough for me.
Yeah.
That kind of shit, it usually don't change.
No.
Like a lot of guys, they want to be
when
fucking
you're out making
gunslingers.
when you're
and
making passes like that, it's just
if
I
you
mean, it
don't
looks like something that your
understand-
backup quarterback would come in and
Right.
do.
If you don't understand the awareness of where you're at, what quarter you're in, how important it is not to turn the ball over, how important it is to maybe get the ball out of bounds,
Right.
or not throw it into coverage and try to make a fucking play,
Right.
you're up. Just fucking punt it back, and if they beat you, so be it. Don't
Right.
give them a short field.
Right.
Which, luckily, the Dolphins' defense is fucking phenomenal
Right.
and somehow held on to the game. But
They lucked out for sure, and it's
Mac Jones didn't really impress me. Like there wasn't
No.
any throws I saw throughout the day. I was like, that was pretty
I mean,
good.
but what receivers does he have?
But that's the other thing is
Like,
he's
he
got
doesn't-
Nelson Aguilar.
Here's the thing that people need to understand about the difference between Bill Belichick offense now versus having Tom Brady, where Tom Brady made every receiver he had look like a top 4 or 5 receiver because he could get them the ball in tight pockets. I mean, you're talking about Tom Brady.
He always had one good tight end and a possession
So
receiver. Pretty much his entire career.
So you take that same game plan and you put a new quarterback into it, it's not going to work out. You know what I mean? You're not going to be able to take Mac Jones in here and be like, okay, I'm going to need you to do what Tom Brady did and make these okay receivers great.
Well, you're going to see throughout the year that Bill Belichick will adjust with Mac.
Oh, yeah.
And find out what Mac likes, what he does good.
Yeah.
And then the fumble at the end of the game where Harris fumbled for him and they were down within the 5 and they would have won the game if they scored. That was on Harris.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not Mac's fault. That's not anybody's fault but Harris's.
Right.
True. And that's a tough beat. I mean, you're going to lose games like that sometimes. And it's an in-division game.
That is a tough way to lose.
It's an in-division game, so it means a lot.
Yep.
The Dolphins and their coach used to be a defensive linebackers coach for the Patriots. So they know each other very well.
Oh yeah.
But I'm off the Tua train. I'm off of all right, let's give him a shot. He got a shot.
I don't.
If they move on from him, I'm gonna be like, well,
I don't see anything major happening with him down there. I mean,
right. It's just I mean it's not gonna last much.
He's not
longer.
gonna take you to the playoffs, that's for sure.
He could sneak in a wild card. He could win the division.
You think in that division?
The Bills didn't look great, and they're already a game down.
We just talked about this. The Bills look like the
that.
Bills, but they just didn't play.
They started slow. I'm not taking anything away from you guys.
Right.
You guys are always more prepared than most teams, especially in the beginning of the season, which is important.
Yeah.
But real football is not played till October, November.
Right.
And you guys always do well then, but it's also important in a tough division to start out well, because if you don't, you're already fucking treading water.
True. True. I just don't see, because I mean Josh Allen hasn't changed, and neither Diggs is Diggs. Diggs is a beast. We talked about top 3 receivers.
The one issue
Diggs is a top 3 receiver.
I agree with you, but the one issue I have with him is their run game.
Yeah, that's tough too, because
their run game was very
Singletary was for the first half of last year, Singletary was killing it, and then he just
disappeared,
fell off.
Yeah.
So, but they have a rookie, right? They
have Moss and they have somebody else. I
think the other dude's a rookie, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think,
but he was out this past game, or Moss was out.
Somebody was out.
I think Moss was out.
But I mean, Jared Allen runs a lot.
Yeah, Jared Allen, he's got wheels.
We'll see. I'm not counting them out. I'm not like, oh fuck, hit the panic button. The Bills are done.
I just feel like the Bills got too much talent to allow
one game
another team. Well, yeah, but another team to sneak into a wild card on them. I mean, I see the Bills back in the playoffs again.
They could win that division and then the Dolphins win a wild card spot.
Yeah,
it just depends on how AFC lines up. But
yeah,
I mean, the Dolphins' defense is fucking good.
It is. It's better than it's been in a long time.
I mean, it's really stout, really strong. It's just that offense is always going to be the issue right now. Now, that's the other game I want to talk about. We bagged Houston all fucking
off yeah,
season.
We did. We said,
I'll be the first one to admit it.
I honestly figured Houston was literally going to go 0-17.
Yeah, we were talking about it before the game. Me, you, I think I was talking to Hill. 0-17, no doubt about it.
I'm not watching
They look like shit. They started the game out. I think they turned the ball over, and I was like, yep, that's what I thought. Tyrod Taylor, same old shit. They're going to be awful. Next thing I know, about 3 quarters later, it's 31-7. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on?
Never, ever.
He's doing fucking ragtag, recess, bullshit, school hot yard, just fucking heaving it.
Right.
I commend Houston for not listening to the noise.
Well, yeah, but again,
and actually getting out and
not sustainable in this NFL.
And what? Well, I don't know. I don't know. Is Houston good, or is Jacksonville bad?
Jacksonville just doesn't have
is Urban Meyer on the way out
already? No,
dude. There's a lot of people dragging him through the fucking mud.
I don't understand why though. He's just got there.
Who knows? Man.
They went. So the coach they had previous to Urban Meyer is
better? You also got to realize How many losses has he probably had in his career leading up to joining the NFL? 30?
Right.
How many do you think he's going to get this year?
Losses? I mean,
16?
it's going to be an ugly season.
15?
Well,
14?
yeah, but that's the thing. I mean, Jacksonville has a lot of room to grow. Like, they have a lot of things that they need to work on.
Yeah.
And it's not going to just be fixed by picking up Trevor Lawrence and having Urban
Right.
Meyer. Urban Meyer is the fix. Like, he can get them back to where they need to be. But
do you think he can endure 14 to 13 to 12 losses, though?
it'll take him 2 years to get rid of him. I mean, this ain't the Browns. They ain't gonna just,
No, it usually takes
Yeah,
about
I
a
mean-
year and a half to turn around a team and start showing signs
How many head
of
coaches did the Browns go through in 3 years? Was it like 7?
it was like 6 or 7
It's the wildest shit ever, man.
because they fired one mid-year, which is, I mean, it happens, but it's very rare anymore. It used to happen all the time.
It did. There's a couple years there for a while where there's a lot of bad coaches that were just getting the axe. Like,
Yeah, fuck
oh,
it.
you lost this game. You wake up Tuesday and there's
Yeah.
there's a
And then
report
you
that
had
so and
Jeff
so got
Fisher getting
fired.
fucking extensions after going 8-8 for the 15th time.
That
And-
was that was some shit.
It's just it's weird. It's weird because I mean the NFL. I mean it goes through its phases.
Yeah,
But there
I
hasn't
agree.
been a lot of coaches that usually are getting fired mid-year.
No.
And I can't blame an organization because I don't want to put my team through a change mid-season because then you're already throwing in the fucking towel.
Well, right.
Now you're learning a new guy's scheme.
Exactly.
Is the guy really going to change much? Probably not.
Right.
You know,
Well, because then that's like that is. It almost seems like you're giving up mid-season if you fire a head coach in the middle of the year because it's like
Right.
you expect to win games with some brand new person that's never been a part of your squad.
Right. The only coach I can remember that did that,
Or
and then
I mean,
they fucking
well,
hired
not
him,
necessarily. I guess moving up.
right, was
Yeah.
the Cleveland head coach, where he got the one got fired mid-season, and they let him coach it out, and he won like 4 games, and everybody
Was it the defensive
hire
coordinator?
him. Hutchins,
And then
or-
because he went to the Jets the year after.
he was fucking
He's
dog
terrible.
shit.
He was their defensive
You're talking
coordinator.
about Greg Williams.
Yeah,
Greg Williams is a piece of shit.
yeah,
that guy
he's the
is-
worst.
Well, he's
But
also
he
the
became
coordinator.
head coach, right?
He was the head coach, he was a defensive coordinator
For Cleveland.
No. No, that it ended up being I don't know. Your brother's gonna fucking text us.
Yeah, he's
when
gonna listen to this and he.
But either way, I
myself
think
about
it's
it.
Hutchins or whatever. Freddie Kitchens.
Freddie
Kitchens.
Kitchens.
Yeah, I bet he
Yes.
was over here having an aneurysm.
He was just like,
God
"Kitchens,
damn it,
you stupid
Kitchens."
fucks.
Anyways, Freddie Kitchens got hired on after he got the interim
Yes.
spot, and he
Right.
won like 4 or 3 games or something, and everybody was like, "Yeah, this is the fucking guy."
Is not the guy.
Where's he at now?
He's not even
I
on
couldn't
part
even
of
tell
anybody's
you.
squad. I don't think.
Now here's the
I'd have to
funny
look it up.
thing:
I don't
is,
think he's on a team.
can you tell me Houston's head coach?
No clue.
Couldn't tell you.
No
I
idea.
I
who
still
he
can't
is.
tell you, and I'm not gonna look it up.
I bet it's not anybody. Well, I wonder if it's even anybody we've heard of.
I mean, I don't good on them for winning that fucking
look it
game. I mean, but it's just I mean, I drug them through the mud, and I still I'm gonna drag them through the mud because they don't have any fucking picks.
No,
For
they
a
don't have any
while.
picks. They don't.
So they
it's-
have to heist. They have to heist Watson and get something out of him. Because if
I've
they
never heard of
don't,
this dude.
they're in trouble.
David Cooley.
David Cooley, that's the Houston head coach.
That's what.
Where
it
did he come
says.
from?
Let's see here. David Cooley, hired head coach.
Don't know.
Don't
Either way.
know.
I mean, I'm sitting here, you know, I'm going to be the first one to say, yeah, I drug him through the mud, but hey, good on you for going out there, not listening to shit, winning the game, and making Trevor Lawrence look like he's a rookie, because that's what they did. They took
Well, yeah.
3 interceptions. I mean, they gave up 300 yards, but that's what's going to happen when you're up by fucking 27. All he's going to do is throw the ball. He threw it for 51 times. I
Right.
mean, 3 interceptions, 300 and something yards, and 2 TDs. But he found out the speed in the NFL. It's a little different. There was a couple throws I saw. I was like,
Came from the Ravens.
okay.
Assistant head coach and wide receiver coach for the Ravens. I
Gross.
wouldn't have been able to pick him out in a lineup.
No, not at all. I mean, the Ravens don't have great fucking wide receivers anyways. But yeah, that game stood out to me. I was kind of impressed by how Houston just didn't give a shit.
They didn't. They just came out and they were like, "Fuck it." Everybody's counting us out. It's like when the Dolphins were literally selling their. We watched a season where the Dolphins sold their team off through the season, and they were like, "We're gonna come out and fuck it. We're just gonna play."
Right. Well, and Houston did
And
that.
they won a
preseason.
couple games,
They
though.
traded a few players away, like in the preseason.
At the very beginning, well, like it was early.
Well, no, they traded a few players then, but then they traded. I think they traded 2 players during training camp.
Did they really?
Yeah,
I don't
and I was
remember.
like, well, what are they doing? They're just, and I mean, I know as a new head coach, you're going to get rid of toxicity or old
Yeah.
mentality because that's just
Yeah.
the way you got to be, man. Hey, look, this is my fucking team now.
Right.
If you're not on board, we'll get you somewhere where you want to be,
Right.
or where I'll send you so I can get the most out of you.
Exactly.
I mean, that's the way it should be.
You still think Cam Newton will end up on a team this season?
If he does, it's not going to be an impact. It's too late.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to think as a quarterback,
I mean, you think he's done then?
age of 32.
I don't necessarily.
It just depends on what opens up,
Right. Here's the thing.
and it also depends on him if he wants to be a backup.
For him to slide into a spot in this, now that our season started up, I think there has to be a significant injury.
Yeah, but he's not going to get thrusted in the starting spot. You know how hard it is to learn.
No, but I mean, a team will call him up and.
Yeah, hey, we need you. Like it's
Right.
like Le'Veon Bell.
You
with
were watching the
Ravens.
games on Sunday. We need you.
Right. You know how to play. We'll teach you everything.
I'm
Just
sure
get out
his
there.
agent has got them fingers crossed.
I mean, it would have made sense if the Cowboys would have picked him up at the beginning of like.
I would
When
agree with
he
that
got
because their backups ain't
No, they're bad. They're bad.
their backups ain't shit. That's something I'd be afraid of if I was
Dak?
a Dallas fan, and
You already have one injury in the past.
because I know
and
it's
he's
like
got-
Big Ben's fragile. He's a big boy, but he is fragile, and there ain't nobody behind him.
Well, he's had what 2 seasons where he got knocked out. 2,
2 in the last 5 years.
right? Which I mean, that's because he's old. He's getting older. That's
Right.
just hard, man. I mean, plus he was big. Like
Yeah.
he was a little too hefty.
There's a few years there. He started losing weight like 3 or 4 years ago, and then before that, he just didn't. He wasn't doing shit. He didn't care.
Yeah. Well, you won
He
those 2
just-
Super Bowls,
He
man.
was just like, fuck it.
Yeah, I did my thing. I'm a god here in Pittsburgh. I mean, that's what he
I
pretty much tell me
mean,
different. I mean, them
You're
fans
not
loved him.
wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, that.
Fucking God here. in
I mean,
Pittsburgh.
it's true. I mean, what he got him to 6 Super Bowls?
Who? Wait, what'd you say?
Did he get him to 6?
No, 3, I think.
Well, he
Big
got
Ben's
3
in-
in his time,
Yeah.
but you guys are sitting at 6.
Yes,
total.
we're at 6
Okay.
total. I thought you were saying
Right,
I'm
right,
like,
right,
wait,
right.
timeout.
3's great for a
Yeah,
Tom Brady
no,
era.
I agree. I
I
agree.
mean, fuck. What other quarterback's even close?
Nobody. That's why I don't
There
understand when
you go.
people be counting my man's out.
He's closer than Peyton Manning and Eli Manning.
Yeah, and the people think so highly of them too, and I am just not a.
I mean,
Eli,
they put up
whatever.
numbers.
Nobody. Eli.
Eli didn't put up numbers, but Eli's a
Yeah.
goofy goofball that is
He
that
was
all
always
shucks.
low key.
Yeah, I mean, I
Manning-
liked him. I always liked him.
He never. You know.
He wasn't lights out, but he was a good game. He was better than a game manager, but not a lights out quarterback.
No.
But he didn't turn the ball over much till the
No,
tail
that's
end.
true.
That's the one thing you want, man. Sometimes
Right.
you just need a guy that doesn't
That's what, like
fucking
when
turn the
people
ball.
are like,
over.
oh, well, he came in and won that Super Bowl for Denver. I'm just like, I don't think Peyton Manning had a lot to do with that Super
That
Bowl in Denver.
defense was stout.
Yeah, that defense, you couldn't do anything with them. Like
But-
you couldn't get nothing across on them.
The edge or the fall off for Peyton Manning was fast.
Yeah.
What was it? The first year he was in Denver, he threw 50 touchdowns, and
Yeah.
then the next season he's literally dying.
They're
They're
dying.
carrying him out on the field.
They're carrying him out, and then you got what's his name, John Elway, calling him and asking him if he wants to be own part of the team.
I mean, at the tail end of that year when he went to the Super Bowl, he looked a lot skinnier than he used to be, and there
Mhm.
was rumors that he was on steroids.
Who him?
Peyton Manning.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't do nothing for him.
mean, it made his forehead a lot bigger.
He still looks like a pile of mashed potatoes.
Did you watch the Manning and Manning Monday Night Football
No.
on ESPN2? Apparently, it's like people are
can't do
fucking
it.
loving it. I mean, obviously. but
I can't listen to either of them. I've never
like
been
Eli.
I can't listen to Peyton because it's like there's certain people I just can't. I'm not a fan of. And it just doesn't do. I'm not gonna like if he were not like. It's hard for me to listen to games that Tony Romo is announcing. I cannot fuck with it.
Why?
He is.
Tony's a good announcer till he starts like, all right, this is what's gonna happen on this play, and I'm like, shut the fuck up, Tony. Don't tell me.
No.
I don't want to hear that shit.
Tony is a very pick a team and ride them the whole game. And
I mean,
ride them.
That's fair. I see what you're saying.
And it's tough. Like, listening to him announce the Browns game was tough.
Was he picking the Chiefs?
For sure he was picking the Chiefs.
Did you hear what he said about the Jets quarterback?
Huh.
He said that he's like Mahomes-esque, like he can be in that level quick.
Oh, word? I don't know about that. Oh, yeah.
said, "Oh, word."
Again, Tony Romo, never seen a Super Bowl, right?
Fair
Never.
enough.
I mean,
Do you think he's
no
a first
MVP?
ballot Hall of Famer for his play on the field?
Not even. No.
Do you think he gets in the Hall of Fame because of his play on the field and broadcasting?
I don't think he should be in the Hall of Fame, period.
At all?
For what? What's he done?
He's got some good years, man.
He is only who he is because Jerry Jones thought he was his son.
He had some good years. I'm
You
not
know
going
what
to
I
take
mean?
away from him.
He did, but they weren't good enough.
Well, he had the 1 year where he botched the field goal to win the game.
And then they held on to him too long. Like Tony Romo was falling off in the worst kind of way, and they just couldn't let go of him.
Fair enough, whatever.
And it's just now he's an announcer, so now we have to fucking deal with him.
I mean, I like him as an announcer. I get what you're saying. Is he's very Chris Collinsworth. Chris Collinsworth will.
Yeah,
he's the
Collinsworth.
I like Joe Buck and Troy Aikman.
Them two are the best.
I don't
think
get
those
it,
two are
but
the
they get the
best.
most hate.
I don't understand why. I like Joe Buck.
Troy Aikman, I fuck with.
Troy
dude.
Aikman has
Troy
always
Aikman's
been good.
legit, like up front. Very.
Collinsworth has to be one of the in NFL announcing. He's one of the worst.
Al Michaels is the best color commentator.
Yeah,
And then I would probably put
Joe Buck does get a lot of hate, which is funny.
Nance.
Nance?
And then Joe Buck. If I could have like a dream commentator,
Oh,
I
excuse
guess
me.
I would pick out of the bunch Al Michaels and Troy Aikman.
That would be sick.
Because I like Troy.
Yeah, I do
Troy
too.
looked like he'd be getting up blazed up in the
I mean,
box
he's
though.
a CT kid, man. You remember when
That
he was
photo.
still playing? It was just like they were so worried about him getting another concussion. Like he was like old boy from Any Given Sunday. One more concussion and you're gonna die on the field. Like you know what I mean? Like it was bad.
That
It was
character
real
was
bad.
Troy Aikman. Pretty
Yeah,
much.
that's all I could think because he was in a like.
He was in a bad state.
I
Like,
can't
oh,
believe
fuck,
he's-
Troy. I don't know if we want to put you out there one more
He's
time.
doing
I
a
don't mean out there,
fantastic
coach.
job for announcing for somebody who's got that many
Right.
concussions.
Right.
I
Yeah.
mean,
It's just I don't know. As far as announcers, I like Al Michaels a lot.
yeah, I would. Yeah,
I wish they would get rid of fucking Chris Collinsworth.
They
Why the
can send
long
him to
face,
college.
Collinsworth?
yeah, they could send him to college.
I mean, just make him like on the Jacksonville Houston game every week. I don't know. Who gives a shit? The game of the week where they send him over to fucking England.
I'm not sure why they like him so much. Are we going over there this year?
I don't think so.
I don't think we are.
You know
either.
what's the great thing about all of COVID? There's no goddamn games.
I'd
over
have to
there.
agree with that.
I don't have to wake up at 9 in the fucking morning.
to set a lineup or to watch a
Yeah,
game.
or and like, oh fuck, wait, there's a game over in England.
and it's a tough game for your team. It's a tough game for your team.
It's like a Thursday night game in the middle
when
of
they
the
have
season.
to go over there because it's a lot. It's just a lot to travel that far and a lot to deal with being out of country and keeping shit together. It's just the games are always shit.
Yep.
So it's just
It's always shit. It's
get your own league. Get your own
well, they're trying to get a team over there,
league. Fuck that.
and you know
There
what
used to be the European League.
yes, the Fire and all of that
Used to
shit,
be.
the Galaxy. Yeah,
Go get your own teams. Start your own league.
Yeah, if you want in, man. Well, here's what you could do. when college decides that the NIL deal isn't going to fucking work anymore.
Oh, boy.
And all of these athletes are like, oh, you're not going to let me make money? The NFL needs to capitalize and make that fucking
start a
AAA league over there.
That's not a terrible idea.
Hey, go abroad for 3 years.
Right.
And play
That's
football.
not a... Man.
And we'll pay you. Dude, I'm already on to something. Hey, hire me,
sick.
NFL. I'm already fucking there, dude.
I like that, actually.
So, I mean, that's going to happen sooner than later because the deals for the college are through the fucking roof
the deals
right
are
now.
they're ridiculous. They're not going to...
ridiculous. I mean, guys are already making $1 million in their not even their freshman year.
It's not smart.
So,
I mean, I get it. As an athlete, you want to get paid for your work and your time, stuff like that. But some of the
like players getting free cars.
It doesn't create. I don't know. I can't imagine it creates a great atmosphere on the team.
Well, no, because this guy's gonna be balling out, driving in a brand new Benz.
You got kids over here eating, Nutri-Grain bars and drinking Gatorades in between classes and stuff like that. And the old boy skirts past him in a Mercedes. You know what I mean? On his way to Jimmy John's. It's just tough, So
it'd be hard to stay in shape. I'd be fat as fuck.
I'd
be over at Jimmy John's. Fucking.
No, I'm just joking around. As a college D1 athlete, you don't have to pay for food or any of that shit anyways. I'm not trying to make it sound like these boys are missing meals.
It's definitely nice to have money.
I feel like it just doesn't go well for the team cohesive atmosphere mentally. Like it's just
no. If he was a dickhead, then
yeah.
Like
I get it. Yeah, man, get paid. But you're gonna have a lot of kids out there like, where's my money at?
Right.
So it's just, I don't know. I don't like it. I mean, I like it.
But
there has to be a ceiling on it.
Yeah.
There has to be some type of ceiling on it.
Right. I agree with that. As far as Tom Brady, 22 years deep.
Two years deep. I mean, and that was one of the better games I've seen in a long time.
A better opening season game.
That was
fantastic.
On Thursday night.
It was a QB duel.
That was
very little running, all throwing.
Tom Brady had a couple misses that could be a couple mistakes that could be attributed to age, but at the same time, he looks like Tom Brady.
He didn't put him in.
No, he didn't put
position.
him in. No, not at all. But I mean, there was just a couple like you probably shouldn't have let that one go. But
there was a couple throws though. You were like, God damn! Like, how's he still this good?
Yeah,
there was one to that AB where he just stood in the pocket, and you were just like, he just. Honestly, dude, I've seen his aura, man.
It's okay.
It was all fucking gold and shit.
It's cool to see. I mean, I've officially got all the hate out of my heart for Tom Brady, like last year at some point.
Right.
But because at a certain point you can't. It's like, what do you still have to hate? I mean,
right?
He's the best. So it's fun to watch at this point.
Yeah.
So,
as far as
they still don't have a fucking run game though.
No, which is crazy.
That it would be what stops them this year.
Yeah.
Is
their defense. I mean, it's not deep at cornerback, and they're already injured. So, I don't think they're going to repeat.
No, I don't think so. I hope nobody's looking forward to that because it ain't going to happen.
I mean, they'll still be a contender. They'll win that division.
Yep.
But there's some teams that have grown.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
okay.
NFC, just worry about your own.
Listen, that's fine. That's fine.
But yeah, I'm interested to see how it plays out. There's some injuries already with Mostert on the 49ers. That guy's made of glass.
Go ahead and after he gets healthy, get rid of him because
he ain't getting re-signed.
No, there ain't no way. You did this with him.
Sermon's
literally all year last year.
Yeah. Him
all
and
year,
Breda.
You did this with his ass, and they were between 4 running backs last year for 8 weeks.
Mm-hmm. And now they're going to do the same thing because I think
about a fantasy situation that was just
it's a fucking nightmare. Like, all right, who's popping off this week?
It was the worst.
And you're spending fucking money on,
and that tells you where you're at in your fantasy league at that part of the season when you're trying to bet on fucking which back the 49ers are going to start. You know what I mean? Who's going to be healthy?
I mean, that motherfucker was hitting 28 points.
Yep.
But if you missed it, you were getting 0.5.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what they do with Lance. They kind of brought him in, let him throw a touchdown.
Yeah.
That was kind of unique. And then the Bears did the same thing. It was like the Bears saw the fucking 49ers game and were like, all right, we like that idea. We'll steal it.
Well, but I don't
I don't like the whole switching a quarterback in the middle of a drive.
stick with who you're gonna start with. Unless they get hurt or they're doing absolute dog shit, pick a guy and let's get a game, like let's get some momentum going with that person.
Just consistency.
Yeah.
I mean, the only time I've ever seen that work was Ohio State with Joe Germain and I forget that guy's name.
God, that was forever ago.
Yeah, and they split time the whole
Right.
season, and it fucking worked.
Yeah.
Till,
I
like,
don't
the Rose Bowl.
I can't remember that ever happening in the NFL.
No, the NFL, fuck no, that shit don't.
It's
A
not
quarterback's not gonna allow it. He's gonna be like,
No.
all right, get me the fuck out of here.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be at some point they're gonna pick one and ride with them until something happens or maybe they're not playing great. But Justin Fields maybe needed a little extra time to recover from that hit he took in the preseason game because that was ugly.
He did get fucking whopped.
But again, that's fair because he was talking shit about
How slow it was.
the NFL not being as fast as you thought it was going to be, and
I think it's also because
you
they
just hadn't met the right defense yet.
They didn't want to start him against Aaron Donald, which I don't blame him,
Whoa.
and Jalen Ramsey.
I wouldn't have fucking started him against either. That's a
1-2 combo. I wouldn't fucking want my quarterback to see.
it's a tough.
Even if he was.
It's a tough way to get started.
And then I think he plays somebody else week 3 that's really good. It might be the 49ers.
Yeah, Bosa.
But as far as best rookie quarterback of the week, I would probably. I mean,
have to give it to Trevor
Lawrence just by
Trevor Lawrence.
stats.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody else really wowed me.
No, I didn't.
There was
see
a couple
anything.
throws from each player that got in, but they didn't play the whole game.
What about the Jets?
Yeah,
I
he
didn't pay
did
attention to
okay,
him.
but they lost.
Yeah.
I mean, he threw a lot.
Right.
Got it to Corey Davis.
But Sam Bradford looks good,
Sam Bradford.
and
Sam Bradford. The Neasels? You're talking about old Rams quarterback?
no, my bad.
Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold looks
I see ghosts.
looks better in
Well,
where's he at? The
yeah,
Panthers. He looked
yeah.
better with the Panthers than he's ever looked with the Jets.
Yeah. Well, I agree with that. The Jets they were a dysfunctional fucking
Right.
shit show with Adam Gase when he was their coach.
Yeah, that's true.
Adam Gase is the worst head coach that's probably ever head coached in the NFL.
You always hating on his ass.
That one interview when they hired him, that dude was on something.
Maybe
I think we played the video in like our first
we
episode.
did. Yeah, it was
He's
early
like
on.
looking at shit and there's nothing there and you're like, what the fuck? It's just weird.
I remember that. Yeah, he was, but it just you had even said something about it earlier this season because I'd kind of counted him out. But you said he stands to be better on a different team with some structure and some guidance.
I think with the right coaching staff, he's a good, manageable quarterback.
Fitzmagic's out for a while
Yeah,
with
he
a
got
hip,
fucking-
which is hilarious because he's like the old man in the NFL. He's out with a hip injury.
Did you see how he landed on it?
No,
Oh,
but I
man.
mean, it's got to be
His
rough.
knee
to
went
fuck
into
your
the
hip up,
ground and the guy was on his back.
which basically causes that top of your femur
Just
to like jack like out of your hip. It's
Yep.
not good.
nope. As soon as it happened, I was like, "Yep, that's a
Can
lot
you
of
imagine
weight."
he's like running around one of those like casts, like those
the fucking little like where
those
he can't
bottom
sit.
half
Yeah.
casts?
Yeah, he can't sit on anything hard, so he's got to have like a
It just
fucking
looks like a
little bubble.
whitey tighty, but it's a cast.
They haven't ruled him out for the season, but
No,
at least 8 weeks. Without him, I don't know if I like the Washington football team. Sorry,
no, I don't see. I mean, you're gonna.
as much. I like their defense.
It'll be a couple games, I think. But I think what's his name?
Heineke?
Did he pass a touchdown to McLaurin?
I don't know if it was McLaurin, but I know he threw one. He was good last year. He came in for him and played the playoff game, and people
Yeah.
fell in love with him. He gave who was it? The Packers? somebody a game. Like it was a tough game. You were like, damn, he's actually playing with them. Yeah, I don't like the Skins as much or the football team. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
much.
You were right. You were right the first time. You don't like the Redskins as much without him.
Well, it's not the Skins anymore, man.
It's the Redskins.
For now, I guess you could say that. They're
I
gonna get a
don't
new
like
name
that
next
you
year.
guys. I mean, this is not okay. Maybe goats don't want to be on
Whatever,
your uniform, right?
They've been there.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I don't like them as much. The Eagles looked okay, but they played the fucking Falcons and the
I
Falcons.
mean, that picture of Matt Ryan laying face down
Oh
on the
yeah,
field.
where Randall sent in the chat. Yeah, that was pretty good actually. Because
It looks like something from a video game because his
just looked dead.
huddle is like his linemen are standing there and he looks dead. He's laying face down with his arms up and his legs spread on the field.
y'all want to see a dead body?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean he's not good anymore.
Well, the funny
either.
thing was, did you see what the quote was from? So the guy standing above him was his Twitter, and on his Twitter, he said, "If you don't want your quarterback to be hit or touched, draft me."
Yeah.
And Matt Ryan's down here fucking laying like he's dead because he let the guy fucking just demolish Matt Ryan. But I mean, I didn't really see Pitts do too much. I don't think he did much, anyways.
Right.
They're tight end. But yeah, I mean, it was a good week one, man. There was a lot of good games. There was a lot of memorable
a lot of good
moments.
football.
Probably the best week one I've seen in probably 3 or 4 years.
I'm excited to. But I mean, there's a lot of good games, but again, a lot of teams that had tough matchups off the rip. A lot of people are like, well, like your old school diehard Browns fans. They're not even old school, but it's like, how diehard are you when you're sitting here talking about your own team like they ain't shit? And I'm just like, dog,
Well,
like the Browns are better now than I ever remember them being.
Here's what I guess would correlate it to. It's like a bad week in baseball or a bad week in basketball where they lose every game.
Yeah.
And then like you don't see them, or they play every game all week, 4 games, three games, whatever.
Yeah.
They lose all of them. All right, well, fuck, they're shit. That's like the equation of one game in the NFL.
Yeah.
Everybody's an overreaction, like the Buckeyes. The best time to fucking lose is early.
Right.
They're probably still gonna make it to the playoffs. 1, because Clemson lost, and 2, the top 10 is not good.
Not good.
Besides Alabama,
It's
who the fuck else is good? So as long as you went out and you do your
Bama,
part.
boy, they out here thrash.
Well, yeah, I'm not. It's Bama's to lose.
Yes.
You know, I mean, it's wrapped up, signed, sealed, delivered.
Yeah. It's
But
just I had to sit
why I
here
don't
listen to
fuck
this
with
dude
college.
say it was somebody I was working with today. Actually, yeah, it was today. I've listened to this record before though. I mean, we got all this talent, and I'm just like, I was like, just settle down. You played Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce this weekend. Just cool it. Like, you guys looked good.
The
You had
greatest-
some really good football going on, and you're talking about the Chiefs.
Yeah,
Like, just
probably the best offense in the league.
slow it down a bit.
And you were up on them pretty
Yeah.
much the whole damn game till a botched
Exactly.
fumble. Shut up.
Exactly. So just chill out, and I think you're going to see a lot of good football out of the Browns. Not enough to win our division, but some good football.
Not yet.
I'm excited. I am excited that the Steelers play the Raiders this weekend again, because I see Najee being able to open up the field a little bit more against the Raiders compared to the Bills.
I agree with that.
And that's what I'm looking. I'm not. I know that you're gonna. I expect the same thing out of the pass game, obviously, with 3 really stout receivers. But I'm excited to see what Najee can do in game time. You know, with a little bit more field, with a defense that's not so good against the run. So
Yeah.
I guess that's how I meant to put that.
Let's do a pick'em to close this out for week 2.
Is there anything else we had to talk about?
I don't think so.
No.
Let's go to scores.
We'll have to. There's a video that somebody sent me. Lindsay, she sent us other stuff that we've played. She works with us. or works with me. She's sent us other stuff that we've played on here.
Okay.
We can't play it this week because we don't have our producer here to put stuff up and all this other stuff like that. But it's a football related one, and we'll put it on next week. It's actually pretty good. It's this coach that he doesn't do extra points. He only goes for twos. He doesn't do any punting. He always goes for it on fourth down. I don't know. It was something like that. But he's 2-0. So. He's a mad scientist of coaching.
Thursday's game of the week is the Giants versus Washington.
Thursday's game of the week is Giants
at
versus Washington, and it's at Washington.
Yep.
And here's the
both are 0-1.
Who did the Giants play this week? I literally didn't hear anything about that game.
The Giants played.
And we didn't even mention it.
Who did they fucking play?
Because I don't even who's Saquon Barkley? I don't even remember the name of their coach.
Played the Broncos.
Danny Dimes, right?
They played the Broncos. The Broncos handled them pretty much.
Which is disgusting.
The Broncos defense is fucking awesome.
Is it?
Yes. Still good.
How's that happen?
I mean, they still got Von Miller. They still got Chubb. They got
true.
some really good players.
Giants,
Washington. It's at Washington. Heineke's starting.
Again, Heinicke starting, but listen, Chase Young.
I mean, I wouldn't. It's a lot more than just him on that defensive line.
True.
There's a lot. That whole defensive line is stout, and the backups.
Yeah, he's the only reason I've watched Washington football ever in my life. So
their secondary is not that great, but
no. I don't know, man. I mean,
just pick a team.
Washington.
All right, he's taking Washington. I'm gonna take. Just because they're at home, I'm gonna take Washington, and it's a short week. I think it works out a little bit better for Washington.
I agree. Except for the Washington? Maybe they fixed the stadium. We haven't talked about that.
Yeah.
You want to talk about that, or you want to wait until we can?
We'll
put
wait
the
until
video
next
up?
week. I mean,
Okay.
I know it'll be a little dated, but still, for some that haven't seen it.
It'll be content for next week.
All right, 49ers at Eagles. Both are 1-0. I'll tell you who I'm taking. I'm taking the 49ers.
Are you taking the 49ers?
Yes. I don't believe anything that the Eagles are doing right now.
No, because I mean,
Jalen Hurts is going to be running for his life.
I agree. I don't know that they can stop Bosa. So,
I mean, I just like the 49ers. I think their offense is a little bit better.
I agree. Because I mean, who do the Eagles even have at running back?
Miles Sanders.
Miles Sanders, still Miles Sanders.
Yeah, who was traded for Travis Kelce today.
Who is
in our league.
Yeah.
But anyways,
that's all. That's
yeah, that should have never happened. Anyways, we're not giving that anymore. You're taking.
I'll take the 40.
Taking the 49ers?
I would agree
All
with
right.
you there.
Rams at Colts. This shouldn't even.
How'd the Colts do this week?
Not good.
But
Played
they
the Seahawks
also
and got fucking smoked.
They
at home.
also are down a lot of people.
Not really.
Are they? I thought they had
Quentin
three
Nelson
significant
was
injuries.
down, but that was it.
Do they have Wentz back?
Yeah, he's back
Well, and where's it at?
at Indianapolis. It's a 1:00 game.
Ooh.
I'm taking the Rams.
I'm taking Pat McAfee.
All right. Bengals at Bears.
I'm taking the Bears. I'm taking the Bears.
Yeah, I'll take the Bears. Be tight though. It's gonna be tight. Bills at Dolphins.
Bills all day.
I'm gonna take the Dolphins. It's at the Dolphins. I'm taking the Dolphins. It's gonna be ugly. There's gonna be some turnovers.
I don't think it's gonna be that ugly. I think there's gonna be some turnovers for sure, but it's gonna be by the Bills defense.
That defense is fucking nasty, man. I'm telling you. I'm taking the Dolphins. I think they start out 2-0 for some reason. I don't know why. Don't fucking ask me why.
You think the Bills start out 0-2?
I do. For some reason, I think something's not right.
Really?
Something's off. I'm not discrediting you.
All right.
Broncos at Jags. I'm taking the Broncos by like a mile.
Really?
Yes, dude. The Broncos defense is fucking good, and Teddy Bridgewater is a good quarterback. He's leading the league in QBR.
Is he?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, dude. There's a stat for your ass.
I don't know if he keeps that, but
No, I'm not saying he's going to keep that. No. I'm not indicating that.
1 weekend. I mean,
Hey, you got one. Everybody gets one.
oh man, I don't know if I can. We're gonna go with the Jags.
All right. You taking the Jags and Trevor Lawrence. Patriots at Jets.
The Patriots.
Patriots. That's a 1 o'clock game, yes.
Yeah.
Raiders at Steelers. I'll take the Steelers as well. Be tight.
I'm glad you said as well, like, as if I needed to answer.
Yeah. Saints at Panthers. And that is a 1 o'clock game.
Saints. I'm gonna ride that.
You're gonna
I'm gonna ride that Jameis
Winston wagon?
Have you seen how he does his W?
Yeah, it's all
like his
fucked-
fingers are
it's all
broken.
fucked
Like he
up,
can't
yeah.
do it the right way,
Yeah,
which
his
is
fingers
also
are fucked.
weird to me.
His fingers are so big.
He's
His
such a
hands huge.
weirdo, dog.
Yeah, he's a goofball, dude.
But you gotta. I mean, it's the Saints looked.
They look good.
Real
how
good.
does he look with a full field in front of him? That's where I'm kind of iffy on him. But I'm gonna ride him. I'm on that Winston wagon.
I'd say they can definitely beat the Panthers.
Texans at Browns. It's a 1 o'clock game.
That doesn't matter. The Browns all
It's
day.
a 12-point underdog.
12-point favorite for the Browns. I don't even need
Do
that.
they
I
cover?
don't
Here, how about
need-
that? Can we just do that? Do they cover the 12?
I think they cover the 12.
You think they cover the 12?
The 12-point lead over the Texans.
I do not think they cover the 12.
I
It's
think
very
they're gonna-
hard in the NFL.
I think the Browns are going to fuck them
Okay.
up.
All right.
Something bad.
I mean, the Browns are going to win.
I think it's going to be it's not going to be fun to watch by the end of the second quarter.
No, man. They didn't look that bad.
Nick,
but maybe the
I'm
Jaguars are
telling
just that
you,
bad. I don't
It's
know.
going to be a running back
Oh,
fiesta.
yeah. I bet.
I'm
not
talking
denying that.
Chubb probably won't play much of the second half.
Okay.
It'll be a cream hunt show in the second half,
both
which
taking the
still
Browns,
means
though.
touchdowns.
But I'm not taking the
Listen
points.
to I'm giving you mad props, Solomon. We're talking hardcore ass beating this
Okay.
Sunday.
All right. Falcons at Buccaneers. That's another 12
That's
point.
the Bucks easy. I mean,
Bucks easy. Do they cover though?
I mean, this is a show. This is a Super Bowl showdown.
Super Bowl quarterback.
This is
showdown.
Gronk and Brady, which is
Yeah.
the Super Bowl team. That is the Patriots Super Bowl team is Gronk and Brady. And I'm telling you, if there's a way for you to sneak Gronk onto your squad off of somebody who doesn't have faith in him yet in your league, you may want to try that out because there's still people that have him but don't start him. This was a perfect example of they still are in sync. Like they're like twins.
I'll take the Bucks, but I'm not taking the points. Vikings against the Cardinals at the Cardinals at a 4 o'clock.
Vikings against the Cardinals.
Yep.
That's the Vikings ain't shit.
All right, he's taking the Cardinals. I'm taking the Cardinals as well.
I mean,
Cowboys at Chargers.
I think that'll actually be a pretty good game.
It's gonna be a fucking shootout.
I think it will be a shootout. The Cowboys defense actually looks a little bit better than they have the last couple of years. Van Der Esch, Parsons, D-Law looks good. I mean, they're looking pretty good. You know, Diggs he had a good game. So
Do the Cowboys start 0-2?
no,
You're gonna take the Cowboys.
yeah. I don't think the Chargers will have enough to.
I think the Chargers do have enough. For some reason, Herbert is gonna probably throw fucking 3 touchdowns, 350. That game's gonna be a shootout, and if it's a shootout, it favors not the Cowboys.
You don't think so? With
Dak is
and
good, but their
3,
defense isn't.
Their defense is decent. I
Still
don't know,
young.
man. I feel like you're gonna see.
I'm just.
I would go. I'm gonna go.
if it was at the Dallas, I would take.
I'm
would
gonna
take it the
give
other way.
Dallas's defense 2 sacks this game.
I'm taking it. The Chargers at home. Titans at Seahawks. Do the Titans start 0-2?
I have a hard time letting them start 0-2 with
At the Seahawks,
with
though?
the
That's
King.
a tough place.
That's a very tough place to win a game.
The 12.
It's a hard place to win a game. What do they call that stadium?
It's called, they call it the 12 for the 12th man.
The 12th man, because it's just
But I don't know what the actual,
no. Because what is it?
Rights
LSU
to
is
the
Death
name.
Valley.
I'm I'm gonna take the Seahawks in a tight, just fucking old school
But
battle.
that's the thing because
Running, just fucking snot.
if Chris
Flying
Carson can
everywhere.
run the ball, Lockett actually had a way. I don't understand. I'm not
It's
a
pick your
fan of
poison.
Lockett, but
It's a pick your poison with them too.
yeah, man.
But I think Carson's gonna get off because they're gonna try to stop Lockett, and then DK is gonna get a little loose. But I think it's a run game.
I'm gonna go with the Titans.
All right.
Just because of
Okay. I mean, I get it. Dude, they start 0-2. It'd be hard, but
are they able to stop Derrick Henry?
that's fair. Chiefs at Ravens Sunday night. That is a back-to-back primetime game for the Ravens.
I'm gonna go with the Chiefs because again, I just don't. I mean, the Chiefs didn't look great this last week, at all.
How much do you think they're favored by?
I would say at least 10.
No, 3.5.
That's it.
It's at the Ravens.
It's just
Those games have always been
the
kind of
Chiefs-
tight.
right? And
I
the
do
Chiefs'
remember now.
defense isn't like the Chiefs' defense isn't fantastic.
No, but
and you saw that this weekend.
well, they were missing people and didn't look good. And,
Right.
I mean, main players
But
like
I
Matthew
just
yeah, I agree.
the Ravens' defense isn't great.
I'm not
either,
taking the
though.
Ravens. Fuck no. I'm taking the Chiefs.
Yeah, that's
There's
hard
no
for
fucking-
me to pass on the Chiefs. On
All
that
right,
one.
here's the barn burner of the week: Monday Night Football, Lions versus Packers.
That's gonna
Do
be
the
such a
Packers start
shitty-
0-2? Does Jared Goff
No.
go 1-1?
That's gonna be such a shitty game.
What do you think the line is? What do you think the Packers are favored by? And would you
Are
take
the Packers favored?
it? Yes. Oh fuck yeah.
I'd say by 4.5.
11.
No, are you serious?
Yes, 11. Would you
Even
would
after
you
this
take
past
the
weekend?
points and the Packers?
No, I can't give them the points. Not
Okay.
on that. I'll take the
Packers just to win straight up.
for sure. I mean, I think again, if as long as my man's is sober for the game, it should be all right.
He does look like he's dabbling in some
He
shit.
was for sure high.
He looks like the FBI agent that was trying to arrest somebody, and then he tried to like plant some fucking evidence, and like,
Right.
it got caught. Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, I'll take the Packers as well. So we'll see how that goes. You got us on film. You can keep record for yourself.
Right.
Send us yours. But
It's gonna be some good games.
really all I got this week. Do you have anything?
I don't have anything else, man.
All right, we will see you next week right here on the next episode 29
29.
of the Sticks and Stones Show. Peace.
Peace.
Sticks and Stones podcast.
Sticks and stones. Have you heard?
Hell yeah, brother. Thanks for listening.